4 years after dramatic flooding in Davenport, the city is working with businesses and people living in the flood zones to prepare them for potential floods. News 8's Jonathan Fong is live for us in Davenport tonight to tell us about the city's latest advice. Good evening, Jonathan.
Yeah, good evening, John. So we're here on the riverfront, and it was here just 4 years ago that there was historic flooding reaching over 22 feet high that did extensive damage to homes, businesses, and cars in this area of Davenport. Now, the city is certainly hoping that this spring the flooding won't be anywhere near as bad as that, but they still want to make sure that the community is prepared.
Staying prepared for anything.
So you know your house best, you know how things flood.
The city of Davenport keeping the community up to date on how to be ready for a flood.
The less risk you put to your personal property, the better you'll be able to come back from a flood.
The meeting discussed options for temporary barriers and cleanup assistance and how businesses and homeowners can stay financially afloat, both with insurance options and simple solutions.
You generally try to remove things that have value to you out of potential flood areas in your house. So whether that be physically removing them, put them in the safety deposit box, putting them higher in your home, that's completely up to you and how you do that.
But some people voiced concerns, still worried about how prepared the city will be for another major flood.
After having the Corps of Engineers take a look at what had happened during that event, they had some suggestions for how we place the barriers on the road.
The city, however, confident in their planning.
Roughing up the concrete a little bit to prevent some of that slip fail type of thing, but then also some of the placement of our plastic sheeting that protects those barriers, specific really more to that placement.
As expansive solutions, such as a flood barrier wall, would be far too expensive.
Northward of $400 million is something that would pretty much be unachievable or unattainable. So looking at those things that we know will make us resilient, that are attainable.
And the city plans on having these informational meetings every 3 to 5 years. City officials also encouraging people in these flood zones to sign up for Alert Iowa. That will give you notifications through phone, text, or email if flood dangers are coming up. In Davenport, Jonathan Fong, WQ80 News 8.
All righty, thank you, Jonathan. And the city of Davenport will have another open meeting this Wednesday at the council chambers.